Hello friends, welcome to New Age Sufis. I come across a lot of people who are seekers and people who want to benefit from spiritual practices. Have you ever thought about why do we even get into this journey of seeking our spiritual perfection? Well, almost every action starts from one of the two centers that we all know by now. Either your ego wants something or your heart craves for that thing that we want to answer. And it is very, very important that your spiritual quest is your heart's desire and not your mind or ego's or nafs ambition. Let's try to understand some roadblocks that may thwart our spiritual progress, and we may spend weeks, months and years stuck in one of these and thinking that some real progress is around the corner. The first roadblock that comes to my mind is incompetence of the seeker himself, where he desires more than what he deserves. Yes, in a way I am hinting that the person is suffering from spiritual ambition. What do I mean by calling such seeker spiritually ambitious? Because ego wants to learn the fourth lesson before completing the second one. In layman's terms, the ego wants to do masters before completing primary education. Just imagine that you go out of your school and stand in front of a university. You may spend your whole life, but you will never get a master's from there and waste so much of your own precious time. So, ambition doesn't pay much in spiritual domain. Preparation does. So one has to look at himself and his ways and get it double checked by a mentor or by reflecting upon some scriptures or books that he believes in or reads. Look at himself and his own unreasonable demands from himself. So these are the ways he can maybe come out of such thing. The second roadblock that is one of the most common these days is intellectualism. For most of us, the spiritual quest starts from Googling a few keywords where we want to understand things, ordering a few books that we have heard of or are recommended to us by somebody, some of a close friend, or what is trending or is popular these days. So we take those books, read them, and we know about them enough. And we think that very soon I will be at a higher station after finishing some 20 books. And what happens? You become full of knowledge. You become so full that you may give a spiritual master like a sound lecture on spirituality without making any headway yourself. So friends, intellectualism is about knowing things. Spirituality is about experiencing things. These are two different ball games. Even if you cram a whole menu card, that doesn't guarantee that you have eaten a dish. So intellectualism helps, but it is a starting point only. It is not the destination of spirituality. Destination of spirituality is having that experience of your higher consciousness, relating to it, and feeling that current running through you that can make some meaningful changes in you. Then only you can rest assured that something is happening. If intellectualism was so important, or learning things was so important, why do saints say that now that you have learned, go and unlearn? What does it mean? They want to take you out of the clutches of intellectualism. I would like to conclude this post with a quote from Rumi, which is very apt example of intellectualism. One scholar comes to him and says, "You talk about God, we also know. As much as you know." He said, "Yes, you know about God. Now that you know the spelling of rose, can you smell a rose from R-O-S-E? Now that you know the name of God, go and find the reality that is called God. Go and find all the variety of roses available to be smelled, to be felt, to be experienced." I think it's enough for now. See you in the next podcast in the same series, Roadblocks to Spirituality.